You're listening to the Full Court Press with your host, Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. We're live on 99.5 ESPN Radio, Emporia's home for sports. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all at Drew Duncan 83. Additionally, you can call in at 620-343-6143. That's 620-343-6143. And you can also find 99.5 ESPN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's at 99.5 ESPN. Guys, it is one of my favorite times of year during the summertime. This is the time when the UFC really kicks into gear, and I am more than excited to have with us Kelvin Gastelum as he gets ready for UFC number 224 coming up. He's coming off of a huge fight that he just won, and I'm sure he's more than willing to talk about it. Kelvin, I want to tell you, it is a real pleasure to have you on the show today, sir.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You know, you're coming in with a 15-3 record by last check, but is wins and losses something that you really keep count of, or are you more concerned with rankings, or are you just ready to, whatever fight is next in front of you, that's the next fight that you're worried about?
Well, yeah, I guess the record and the ranking, it all matters to me. You know, I'm just very critical of myself, and I expect that a lot out of myself. You know, I if it was up to me, I'd be undefeated. You know, and then rank number one or champion. You know, so it matters to me, but those things really don't matter at the end of it all. Which I know. I don't hold those things up on a pedestal like that. No, but I'm just very critical of myself.
Kelvin, you said that the Michael Bisping fight was the biggest fight of your career. Why?
Yeah, GSP had just beaten Michael Bisping, who I fought a couple weeks after that. I was originally scheduled to fight Anderson Silva. He got pulled from the fight, and then in comes Michael Bisping, fresh off his loss to GSP, and I ended up knocking him out. You know, and it was a big fight for me at the moment, just because of Mike Bisping's stock at the moment was extremely high. He had just lost the middleweight championship to GSP, and so it was a big, important fight for me.
What was it that bothered you the most about dealing with the commission out there in Rio de Janeiro? I mean, obviously you guys were able to get everything ready to go, and now you're preparing for this fight for 224. But what was your biggest concern with the commission out there in Rio de Janeiro?
Well, the only issue that I had was back in March when I fought in Fortaleza, and I kind of just felt like I was being under attack by the commission. You know, I got fined pretty heavily and was suspended, and I kind of felt like it was unjustifiable, you know, just not justifiable, the punishment. And I just kind of fell under attack by the commission, but we got it all squared away, and you know, I actually really love and enjoy being in Brazil. I love coming to this country, and I love the people here, the culture, the food. You know, it's an amazing place, especially here in Rio. It's a beautiful city.
You know, one of the things, Kelvin, that really has kind of started to bother me recently in MMA is we're seeing a lot of guys that I feel are far past their prime that are still doing this. One of the people that I know that I could bring up is Chuck Liddell. And Chuck Liddell has allegedly talked about making moves with Oscar De La Hoya and doing Golden Boy MMA. But can anybody tell when a fighter to himself, hey, a fighter's time is up? Or is there a point where you think, man, somebody's really got to let go of their career and they're just completely incapable for whatever reason?
You know, man, that's a hard one. You know, I'm not in that position. I just know that one day my time's going to be over, whether I like it or not. You just kind of have to come to terms with it. And some people are better at dealing with it than others, and you just got to learn how to deal with it and know your limits. Really, you know. I mean, I know I'm not going to be able to fight forever. So, I mean, you know, one day it'll happen. One day I'm going to have that talk with myself, with my family, with my team, and it's going to happen.
You know, one of the things that still surprises me about MMA is that people have a tendency to still talk about it as a sport of degradation, as a sport that's, there's no art to it. They always say, yeah, they call it mixed martial art, but I don't see the art form. And two guys standing in an octagon and beating the hell out of each other. You and I both know that there's more to it than that. But what would you tell that person who says there's no art form to it? You guys are just violent.
I'd call that person a little ignorant. That person would have no idea what a martial artist would be. You know, we are modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, and we spend lifetime training for this. You know, it doesn't just happen overnight. I mean, this has been over 15 years of training and dedication to an art. So these guys just don't get that, though.
Kelvin, if I may, one more question before we get out of here. You made mention that you're not concerned with the Brazilian style of jiu-jitsu that may be brought to the table coming up at 224 with Souza. Why is it that you have that inner confidence level? Do you feel that your ground game is superior, or do you feel that regardless of who you're facing, you are always the superior athlete and there's really nobody who can take what is rightfully yours, and that is what you've talked about over and over again, and that is a title shot?
The second part. You know, obviously, I mean, I feel, you know, his jiu-jitsu skills are superior than mine, but this is not a jiu-jitsu match. This is an MMA fight, and that's what I'm good at. That's where I excel. And if he wants to go ahead and have a jiu-jitsu match, he's going to lose. This is an MMA fight, and this is what my specialty is to fight and to win. And I feel my heart, my spirit is going to be bigger than his that night, and that's how I'm going to win.
Kelvin, this is the part of the program where I give all of my interviewees the opportunity to have the floor and say whatever it is that they would like to the audience that's out there listening.
No, I always appreciate anybody that follows me and supports me. And if you guys want to go ahead and know more about me and support me, go ahead and follow me at Gastelum on Instagram, and on Twitter it's at Kelvin Gastelum. You know, I'm always on my social media, so you guys can go ahead and write to me, and I'll respond.
Kelvin, I want to tell you it was a real pleasure to have you on the program today. Best of luck to you coming up at 224, and we'll be watching.
Thank you very much, man. Take care.
You're very welcome. All right, everybody. You just heard it right there. Kelvin Gastelum getting ready for UFC number 224, a fight that you could tell he is definitely not afraid to take. This is the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. We're live on 99.5 ESPN Radio. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. Don't you dare touch that dial.